Hello there, welcome to The Window. My name is Amy and today we're going to be talking about diversity in literature. So as someone who wants to work in the publishing industry as I graduate from university and move forward, I'm really always using my university assignments to seek out greater knowledge, greater awareness of the issues being faced by this industry. One of the things that's been on my mind recently has been diversity in young adult literature, which is one of the fastest growing genres, if not the fastest growing genre in the publishing industry. Increasingly, and especially over the past 12 months, members of the young adult reading community have been calling authors out for a lack of diversity or perpetuating harmful racial stereotypes or harmful tropes in their writings. Perhaps most notable over the past 12 months was the whole controversy surrounding Veronica Roth's Carve the Mark. So initially the reviews for Carve the Mark were okay. They were a bit mixed. People who had received advanced reader copies of the book were, for the most part, pretty happy with it. But then the book was released and Carve the Mark was heavily criticised for perpetuating harmful racial stereotypes and portraying a damaging representation of self-harm. Unfortunately, it appears that most of the people who received advanced reader copies of the book weren't able to pick up on the problematic elements. Whitney from Witty Novels, for example, initially gave the book 4 stars, but she later updated the description of her video to discourage people from picking up the book because of the problematic elements it's said to have. Veronica Roth actually responded to some of the criticisms in a blog post, which goes to show how heavy the criticism was, because it's very rare for an author to respond to negative reviews. It's generally a no-no in the publishing industry. It just goes to show that whilst diversity is all well and good, it must also be done with accuracy and careful consideration. And that's because there is very little diversity in the young adult reading genre to begin with. Looking at my own shelves and the shelves of my local library and my local bookshops, there aren't many diverse authors. But why is it important to have diversity in literature? Why do we need it? According to Michelle Flood of the Ohio Communication Journal, one of the biggest problems plaguing the entertainment industry as a whole is the issue of racial diversity and the notable absence and minimization of people of color. She says the visibility and representation of marginalized groups have the potential to disrupt societal norms and the institutions that enforce them. She also noted that it requires a continued effort, that one successful example of representation is not enough to disrupt those norms. Numerous studies have also indicated that our identities are significantly influenced by the way we think other people see us. We know how people see us in the way they interact with us, in their criticisms and praise, and also in how we see the people we identify with being treated by other people and the media. We also derive our understanding of other people by how they are represented and treated in society. And so it's clear that if there is a lack of diversity, people who are underrepresented do not have the same pool of people from whom they can draw upon in the formation of their identity. What's more is if there is a severe lack of representation, it's likely that they may feel unimportant or alone. And that is why accurate and diverse representation is important. So yes, it's important. But it's hard for publishers to choose books with diverse representation unless they know they're going to make money. So, do readers of young adult fiction actually want to read diverse books? To answer this question, I conducted a small survey, which I shared with the Aussie YA bloggers and readers Facebook group. And at the time of filming this, I've only received 16 responses, so my findings aren't definitive. So when I asked the people in my survey if diversity in literature was important to them, all 16 of them said yes. To the people who completed my survey at least, diverse fiction is valuable. And they had really, diverse perspectives as to what diversity is. Each person identified at least 3 different areas of diversity. They mentioned race, culture, sexuality, gender identity, ability and disability, faith, socioeconomic status, body type, mental health, age, as well as life experiences and differing ideas. Essentially, they wanted to see the diversity of the world reflected in the fiction they're reading. One respondent said that they wanted to see the full spectrum of humanity. Another said that they looked to books for a rich and authentic representation of the human race. When asked why diversity was important to them, most respondents said that it was important to broaden their perspective of the world and to understand and validate the experiences and lives of others. So that those people can feel visible and understood. But most also said that they value diverse books just because they find them interesting. So it's clear that, at least for this young adult reading community, diverse literature is valued. but how can we encourage publishers to bring out books by diverse authors and about diverse characters? I asked the people surveyed if diversity in literature is important to them. How do they strive to read or support diverse literature and authors? Some said they actively seek out diverse literature. Some said they don't actively seek out diverse books, but when they come across a good one, will promote the heck out of it. Most of them said that they try to be critical and active in their reading, and several said that they're likely to speak out if they see negative or harmful representation. Most of them actually cited social media as a platform where they go to look for and support diverse books. There are a couple of hashtags and campaigns you can follow to find diverse books, as well as read or join in the discussions about diversity in literature. The hashtag Own Voices promotes books by authors who are writing about characters who are like themselves. The hashtag We Need Diverse Books is also used to share diverse books, especially young adult and children's books, and promote discussion about diversity in children and young adult literature. So in summary, diverse literature is important for the formation of identity and perception about certain groups. Young adult readers want to read diverse books of all sorts. They actively seek out diverse books and aren't afraid to speak up when they see problematic elements. So now I want to start a discussion. Go ahead and comment any diverse recommendations or bloggers or authors you really like. If you want to see any of the resources I mentioned in this video, they are listed in the description. And as always, thank you for watching. Happy reading. Bye.